All right, so I apologize. We're having some technical difficulties going on right now. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I'm just gonna make sure and wait to make sure everyone's in here. Okay. Okay. All right. So I just want to wait a little bit just to make sure everyone's in here. The chat is up and running, so can y'all let me know whoever's in here if you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, good.
Mommy's working, baby.
All right, so I do just want to give like another minute or two just to see if we're gonna have anyone else come um, and join or not. But I do want to ask if anybody in here was here yesterday. Did you get to tune in and see about oil cleansing and how you can always opt for that option? That way your skin isn't dry, especially now because it's cold. Because sometimes the regular cleansers on top of the weather can be very drying. So the oil cleansing was such a good thing yesterday. I hope you guys got something from that if you were able to join in. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer just to see, and then we'll go ahead and talk about our day two, which is to hopefully you can drink 2 liters of water today. So that 2 to 3, excuse me, 2 to 3 liters. So that is the goal here. And I actually have some notes here because I really like to try and be as prepared as possible, but sometimes doesn't always work. That's okay. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and get into the topic today. Okay. So yesterday we talked about our oil cleansing and why that is a really good option to do during the winter, simply because there are certain oils. And if you tuned in, I talked a little bit about castor oil, how it can have really good astringent properties to it. But the thing is, you still have to kind of be careful with that because even then, those astringent properties can still kind of have tendency to dry out the skin. So there's so many different oils that you can use. I personally love jojoba oil, and that's just because that oil is the closest thing to human skin as far as the oil that our skin produces. So that's like one of the closest things to it. So, what I will do is go ahead and talk a little bit about water and how it just plays a part in maintaining really healthy skin that is functioning properly. Um, because ultimately our skin, obviously largest organ of the body, it covers us from head to toe, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can do on our part so that it is functioning correctly, and being able to really nourish it from the inside out. And as long as it is healthy that way, it's going to do its job as far as protecting us from outer extremities and things like that. Okay, so now we're going to get into the water gig. So, for starters, I recently just got this. Okay, I'm not even sure how much this is. Oh, good. So this is a 2.5 liter container. Okay. So part of the challenge is to try and drink um, 2 to 3 liters of water, right? So that way we are hydrating and replenishing and nourishing our skin from the inside, right? And I don't think that people understand the importance of that. I've run into a lot of people and clients who, I can clearly see when they're on the treatment table how dehydrated their skin is. And I'll ask them, like, do you drink water? Do you drink coffee? And we'll get into that a little later, but sometimes coffee and tea can be dehydrating simply because the caffeine in there. But I'll ask them, they're like, oh no, I really should drink more water. And it's funny because a lot of people are like that. They're like, I really should be drinking a lot more water. And that is the absolute truth. You really should be. So I found this was at Ross. Super cute, does a good job. It has cute little sayings on there. So this keeps me motivated to keep drinking it all the way to the bottom. But this is a 2.5 liter jug. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of water. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, try to drink a gallon. I know some people who drink a gallon of water per day. More power to you, but this is pretty close, okay? Or I want to say it's pretty spot on. At least it looks like it, but don't judge me. Math is not my strong suit. All right, so now in regards to what we'll be talking about today. So the biggest thing is we want to know how much water should we actually drink per day, okay? And if you go in and do some research and look into stuff, it's a lot of places are going to say at least 8 glasses a day, right? Excuse me, but the thing is, how do we know how big glasses should be, right? So I'm guessing maybe 8-ounce glasses would be ideal. But it is definitely recommended 8 full glasses a day. Okay. And if you're not even getting that, that's going to be an issue because staying properly hydrated is very necessary for our health overall. Okay. So this isn't just a winter skincare thing that we're doing. Like, we're really trying to hone in on some of the good practices that will help us out in general. Okay. We got to start from within. So water also plays a really huge role in digestion and circulation. And it's also just super vital for what we want to see in regards to our beauty and our health. Okay. So it's definitely an inside out thing. And it's one of the most easiest things that we can do. The easiest thing we can do to see a difference in our skin is drink water. Okay. Like, that is the easiest thing. It's inexpensive. If you have a filtration system at your house or whatever the case may be, there should be no excuse for that. That's the easiest treatment you can do for yourself. Okay. Drink some water. So obviously, no, we're not going to be able to get rid of a lot of the products that we like to watch. I mean, that we like to see and use and things like that. But if we are drinking more water, it will definitely help, and it will help those products work better too. Okay. So ultimately, going back into what I was stating before, our skin is an organ. Okay. It really is. It is an external organ, and it is our protection and our armor from so many outside elements and sources and things like that. Okay. And it's mostly made up of water. Okay. So with that being said, if you're an active person, knowing that, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to sweat. Sweat is literally some of that water leaving our body. It's perspiration, and we need to put that back in. Okay. So without water, our skin definitely isn't going to be functioning at its best. And it's going to become very dry and very tight, sometimes flaky. And those are automatically just really, really, really key telltale signs of dehydrated skin. Okay. And so when we're talking about severe dehydration in that way, that is bringing about premature aging. So that is definitely going to speed up the aging process if we're not hydrating properly. Okay. Because everything's getting depleted. So you almost think about it as a grape, right? So once we get our grapes, we just bought them from the store and stuff. They look great, right? They look amazing, nice, juicy, and plump. But what happens to them over time is they begin to raisin. correct? So if you think about a skin cell, think about it in terms of it being like a grape. We want to keep that plumpness and that juiciness to our skin, okay? And that is simply the collagen, the elastin, and the moisture and everything that is needed to really nourish that skin cell. But once we deplete it, of course, you go from a nice plump round raisin to a shriveled up, wrinkly grape, okay? So we want to keep our skin cells looking like nice, juicy grapes and not looking like a prune, okay? Like a dried up raisin. We don't want that. So it's definitely really, really easy to see some of the differences when you are drinking water and when you're not. And that's why I wanted to incorporate this in the challenge because I feel like you could instantly see something happening within a few days of just intaking more water. And I think it would also just help you feel better in general. Because it does go back into, digestion and circulation and things of that sort. So it's just good for you overall, right? Now, we do lose large quantities of water on a daily basis. So if you don't replace it by drinking more, that's when the skin suffers those consequences. Okay. So I understand that sometimes it's hard to convince people to drink a little bit more water. Some people really just don't like it. I can't knock anybody for that, but there are really good benefits from just simply drinking some water. Okay. So before we get into that, let me go ahead and take a drink. If you got yours with you, take a drink right now. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Halfway there. That's what it says. You're halfway there. The next one says no excuses. And then the one after says a little bit more and then well done. So we're trying to get to well done. Okay. All right. So as far as these really good skin benefits, okay, fewer wrinkles for one. All right. So it's simple. The more hydrated you stay, the fewer wrinkles and fine lines that you're going to see. Okay. So remember, nice plump grape, not the dried out raisin. All right. So water will simply help us to have our skin retain moisture, maintain it, and even increase the elasticity inside there. So on a deeper cellular level, that water is really going in there and doing what it needs to do. So that's going to be why we'll see fewer wrinkles if we are increasing our water intake. Okay. So now, when it comes to our complexion, the water can also be such a good source to help with that, and even just that radiance and vibrance. Because if we talk about dehydrated skin, ultimately it looks dull, right? When you're talking about very dull skin, one, you either have not exfoliated properly, but not only that, the dehydration goes in and plays a key part in that too, because the skin is dry and then you're not exfoliating. So you literally have layers and layers of dead skin just sitting on your face and it's lackluster. So in order to do that, we need to make sure that we are replenishing those skin cells, because if not, they're just going to be kind of ashy looking. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest purpose of water as well. When it helps get glow from within, and drinking enough water will definitely help us combat other varieties of skin issues, certain things like psoriasis and eczema as well. Okay, so we all know that those are very drying skin conditions. We know that. And so this is going to help the digestive system, okay, flush out toxins from the body. All right. And that in turn improves the complexion because your skin now has almost gotten cleansed. Okay. And it will just help to allow that glowing, radiant skin come through. So this is why, again, I had to put water in here because, it's a little bit deeper of just, the standard vanity that we have for ourselves. Like it can really be such a good thing for our health overall. So now, there was a study that found that drinking 2 cups of water did increase blood flow, okay, to the skin. And that can even help kind of even your skin tone out and also allow for a nice glowing complexion. And we know this, any type of circulation and stimulation that goes on to where things are being stimulated on the surface of the skin, that blood flow will give you a really, really nice glow. And so it's just simple, increase your water. Drinking 2 cups of water is what the study said, and that increased the blood flow to the skin. So hey, that doesn't sound too hard. I mean, if water is an issue for you, be realistic with yourself and start off with small goals. This thing said 2 cups, okay? 2 cups of water increased blood flow. So that should tell you enough to where it's like, start off small and then try to build up after that. But essentially, a little goes a long way. So, another thing, okay, another benefit of drinking more water, incorporating it into a daily thing, a daily habit. We want to make this a habit. So not only is this for the challenge, this needs to be a habit on the daily, okay, just for overall health. So increasing your water intake can definitely have some reduced puffiness, okay? So if you ever feel bloated, or maybe you feel like your eyes are super puffy, I know sometimes this area can get a little puffy, or maybe you just feel like blah, you know what I mean? So with that, our skin goes through little bouts of swelling sometimes, okay? And this is definitely due to water retention. Now, for us women, we have our monthly friend. She's the culprit for this unwanted bloating and swelling, okay? But for whatever reason, we just can't get rid of her, can we? So, um, there's definitely no doubt about that, okay? So the issue is trying to figure out why this water retention is happening, okay? So the thing is, if you're dehydrated, that is why you're bloated, or that is why you're seeing some swelling and some puffiness. You're dehydrated. So the way that our body works, if there's ever an instance where something is lacking, whatever's in there, the body is really going to like try and hold on to it, okay? It's the same thing if you want to think about fitness and stuff. You know how there's those crash diets and people starve themselves, like some people be like, I'm not going to eat anything at all, but then they feel like it really didn't have any good results, and that's because your body was holding on to the fat because you weren't putting anything inside of it. So it's the same thing with this water, okay? If you ever feel like, man, I'm really holding on to this water, you should probably drink more, okay? If you're ever feeling bloated, getting some swelling and things like that, it could definitely be that you need to intake more so that your body doesn't have to hold on to it, okay? So there's that. Now, if you want to reduce that puffiness and the swelling, okay, definitely help to maybe smooth out the skin and not have it be so fluffy. Definitely start drinking a little bit more water, and I can guarantee you will see the difference, because I go through that all the time myself personally. There's days where I wake up and I'm feeling great. I feel like I look great and blah, 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 right? But then maybe a few days later, I'm like, what happened to my slim stomach? Or why do I look, kind of chubby cheek today? And I think about it, and I probably didn't drink much water in the past couple days. So I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you by example, that is what be going on. Okay. So now, in regards to things like our skin actually having the ability to heal itself and whatnot, if we are having good hydration practices and intake in our water, it could definitely help to heal it faster, and I'm more so talking in terms of maybe sunburn. That's and I don't care, and I don't know who's watching, but even if you are melanated, wear your sunscreen, okay? We can still get sunburned, okay? It might take a little longer, but we can still get sunburned. I want to put that out there too. But if you ever had a sunburn, you know how it is just annoying. It is just a pain. Your skin just feels burnt and like it's just sitting there. And it can last for a little while until that actual burnt skin starts to peel and flake away. Okay, so drinking more water can actually help speed up that healing process for the sunburn, actually. Okay, so yes, keep things on hand like aloe vera, other moisturizing properties like shea butter and things like that. But that water is definitely going to help. Okay, and again, think about the grape. If we're talking about a healthy skin cell that looks like a nice plump grape, that means that that skin cell is working efficiently, it's doing its job, and it's healthy. So say we look at a raisin, and even just putting a raisin up to a grape, like, yeah, we still eat raisins and stuff, but ultimately, aesthetically, if you look at the difference of that, that raisin kind of looks a little suspect. Like, should I really be should I eat this thing? It looks dried out, so you think about those things like that. And it's just like, okay. So ultimately, say if
Yeah.
something was going on with the grape or the raisin, you know what I mean? I would think that the raisin might have a little bit more trouble dealing with something, okay, as opposed to the nice healthy grape, okay. So that's all I'm trying to say. Look at my metaphor, right? I'm hoping it's making sense though. But anyway, so there's that. So the water can definitely just kind of help maintain the overall health of the skin cells so they can do what they need to do. Okay. Now, when it comes to acne, this is huge. Okay. Increasing your water intake for acne is huge because sometimes you just need that flushing of whatever toxins and bacteria is going on in there. So, we think of acne sometimes in our minds, because I know I suffered with it, back in high school and stuff, but it's not just a teenage thing. It's not just a young person thing. There's a lot of people who have adult acne now. Okay. That's a thing. And so, it's just a super common thing. And honestly, if we look at numbers here, you got about 40 to 55% of the adult population of people aged 20 to 40, okay, they have acne. All right. So it's definitely a common skin issue, but if you drink enough water, it can definitely help to combat that because, again, like I said, it will flush those toxins from the skin. It will help to shrink your pores. And it'll also, the fact that it's causing them to shrink, and when I say shrink, we're going to get a little educated here. So, one thing about it is your pores will never you will never be able to say, oh, my pores got smaller or my pores got bigger. That's not a thing. Okay. The way that our skin works, the pores literally open and close. So they constrict. So you cannot change the genetic makeup of your actual pores. They are what they are. Okay. Whatever your skin type is, you were born with that. And that's just what it is. If you've been experiencing oiliness your whole life, your pores are just a little bit more open and those oils secrete through there a lot more easily. If you've been dry your whole life, your pores look like this. And it is very hard to, one, moisturize and retain that moisture because they are so closed and constricted. Okay. That's why we have to figure out ways to manipulate the skin cells so that we can have them work how they're supposed to work, right? But anyway, that was just a little skin lesson there, okay? So, nonetheless, drinking the water will definitely help to kind of maintain a good barrier function, which is our skin. It will maintain that to where these skin cells and even your pores, everything's working in conjunction with one another. And because of that, the inflammation lessens if you're drinking more water. Toxins will begin to start being cleansed out, and that allows for the skin to calm down a little bit. Because when we think of acne, that's literally dead skin cells, oil buildup, bacteria, all mixed up inside of a pore, and that's what actual acneic pimple is. Okay, so if we're drinking water, we're lessening the chances of that kind of stuff happening. Okay. And you guys, at any point, if you have questions or whatever, we got the chat going. Feel free to type whatever in there and we can answer it. Okay. And when we're done going over some of this stuff, I'll definitely have the floor open for a few minutes just to see if anybody does have anything to ask or whatever. Okay. So, another thing here, drinking more water will help slow the aging process down. Okay. So, even beyond the wrinkles, drinking water helps our skin stay plumper. Again, the great. Okay. And plump skin does help to hide those signs of aging. There's a big difference, especially here in like crow's feet area and things like that. This area already is a very thin area of skin. Okay. So, can you imagine if it is not hydrated properly and moisturized properly, it being depleted? It's almost like the Sahara Desert, if you think about that, right? Or alligator skin. If you think about stuff like that, you can see the scales, you can see the dryness. That's exactly what is happening here. It is super dry, and we can see every little crevice because there's no moisture to plump that up. Okay. So it's almost like my hand. If I start scrunching my hand, look at all those wrinkles. We want it nice and plump. Okay. And so if we continue to keep drinking that water, it can help to kind of slow the aging process down. Okay. All right. So, what else we got here? Now, again, we're going to talk a little bit about pores here too. So, our pores, we know that they can get clogged and that they can kind of enlarge throughout the day and constrict back down to a smaller size, but they can depending on what's going on. So, basically, any sources of heat, um, when we're sweating, those things that are kind of heating our body up, our pores are going to be open because they need to open up to allow that perspiration and sweat to go out of there. Okay. So the more water that we drink, the better the balance of the oil and water on the surface of our skin. Okay. And that's a thing too. Now, maybe I need to hold like a whole nother workshop so people can really better understand how the skin works. But in order for the skin to maintain really good integrity and be very healthy, there has to be a balance between the oil and the water. Okay. So this can really help to help to keep the pore size. I don't like this wording here, but it says this can help to reduce your pore size. We can't do that, but we can help keep them functioning to where they're just calmly staying at a really good space here. Okay. And this will help decrease those acne breakouts and reduce blemishes as well. We can also help reduce some itchiness if we drink a lot of water. Okay. So when your skin's dry, of course, it's going to be cracky, flaky, and itchy. Then a good way to go in and kind of help fix that is to drink enough water, hydrate the skin, because hydrated skin is definitely less likely to crack and become itchy. Okay, again, the grape. Always remember that. Always remember the grape and the raisin. You want to be a nice grape, not a raisin. Now, tighter skin. Okay, this is something that even me, I feel like I'm having some issues now. I feel like these jowl things are like starting to creep on in. I don't know what's going on there, but essentially, the older we get, our skin does start to sag. So even if you're undergoing weight loss and things like that, the skin does tend to have some sagginess going on, right? So, a good way to help tighten the skin around our jawline, maybe even our stomach and our arms and legs, is drinking more water, believe it or not. Okay. And that's just because overall water intake does help with the skin's elasticity. That just helps it bounce back. So, one way to check and see. Look, I'm dropping all these good gems. One way to check and see where you're at in regards to the elasticity of your skin, you can grab a little piece of skin, whether it's down here, up here, or something. But what you'll want to do is just get a little pinch and then just let it go and see how fast it bounces back. If it takes a little while and it slowly starts molding back, your elasticity is low and we need to get the ball rolling on that. Okay. We definitely need to start stimulating some of that stuff. If it is taking a good while to go back to its form, we want to see some good bounce back action. Okay. It should not take too long to go back to where it needs to go. Okay. We don't want a nice slow, no, we don't need that. So there's a quick tip too if you ever want to check that out. Now, um, in regards to having our skin balanced, especially pH wise. So there's a science behind so many things, and our skin has certain levels of bases and acids inside of there. Okay. So if you do have problematic skin, you know that maintaining a healthy pH balance can definitely be key to having blemish free and glowing skin. Okay. So, if you drink more water, it can help balance your pH level to give you that healthy skin. Okay. So, a good question is, how do I know if I'm even getting enough water? Okay. And that is something that definitely comes up because it's like, how much really, like, am I getting enough or not? And that's why I think it's good to have those numbers out there to refer to. If they're saying 8 glasses a day is something that you should be doing, I would definitely try to start there. And if water is something that you know you have to work on and improve, try to start small. If you don't even drink water at all, which, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who are like soda and juice fanatics and they do not drink water. So if that's you, all you have to do is start off small with like maybe 2 glasses of water a day and then try to build up from that. Okay, it's all about progression and, a slow, steady climb to something else. If we know that this is essentially going to be beneficial for us in so many other ways, try to work on it. Okay, if you need to take baby steps, that is totally fine. All right, so I ultimately, like I said, I spotted this obviously because the color. If you know me, you just know, right? But I felt like this was something that was going to be challenging for me because I drink water, but I've never really kept track or really like paid attention to the amount. Like I might have a bottle here and there, but not even really consciously thinking about how much have I just drank type of thing. So when I saw this, I had to get it. Like I just had to get it. And I've been really proud of myself because I've actually been finishing this whole bottle every day. Now again, this is 2.5 liters. I don't know the conversions of like if this is a gallon or like I don't know. I'm not good at that. I'll probably Google it and see. But just visually, this looks like a decent amount of freaking water. So I'm proud of myself because I'm actually finishing it on a daily basis. Okay. So if you guys can find something like this, I really suggest trying to, rather than like trying to drink 8 bottles of water or have 8 glasses a day, like just try to get this big thing and try to finish it. Okay. Before the day's over. And I be doing good. And sometimes I'll even have this and then like another half that I've done. And I'm like, oh shoot, girl, okay, you drinking your water. So I like this. And I know everybody's different, but I know for me, it'd be little things like this. Some people might call it corny. I don't know. But for me, I like this. I like that I have this. Maybe it's because I'm a structured person. I don't know, but I just like how this is laid out for me and I know my progress and where I'm going. So that's why I suggest one of these that have something. It's almost like motivation. Okay. So that's just what I like. So anyway, that was just my spill on the water intake and everything. And oh, look, hey, Miranda. Oh, good. Do you got your water? Do you have your water with you? But no, that's good. You need to drink water too because you work hard and I'm telling you guys, it can just make a difference because even though our lives can get so just tiring and full of commotion and chaotic and things like that, like I'm not gonna lie, like I be stressed, but I've actually been feeling a lot better because I've been doing this consistently for a few weeks now. And, I might be just kind of like tired to have those moments where I have to be like, oh, like, but I'm okay. I'm okay. There's still that little bit of chipper in there. You know what I mean? So, I think that helps a lot, honestly. I feel like it kind of, just like we're talking about it flushing out toxins and stuff like that. I really feel like it can kind of help flush out those bad toxins that we might produce in times of stress and things like that. So I've been finding it very therapeutic to drink this and knowing all of the good benefits that come from me upping the intake of this, it just makes me feel a lot better overall. So that was it. That was my spill on our water, you guys. And so I really want to make sure that you guys understand how it's not just a thing for beauty. Like, I don't know about you guys. I got a kid. I know some of you might have children, or some of you guys just might have crazy lives. Like I'm trying to live, and I want to be healthy as possible. And anything that I can do on my end, I want to do it. I don't want something to come up to where it's like, man, if I would have just drank a little more water, I wouldn't be here. Like I don't want that situation to happen. So it goes way deeper than that. But nonetheless, that's the spill on incorporating water, okay, into this challenge. And I hope you guys will actually upkeep it and stay consistent with it and drink your water. Because I'm telling you, you will notice a difference. There was an instance, maybe I want to say earlier this year, like back when I actually started working out with a personal trainer, I would notice how different I felt on days where I really didn't drink much water. Like, and there's some days that go by where I'm like, wow, I really didn't drink any water, but I can tell the difference in everything. And now I feel like in the past, I would wake up and because I have dark circles, I'm okay with them and everything. But I feel like in the past, I would wake up and they would be so dark. And I'm looking at myself like, I look dead right now. Like, oh my gosh. But ever since being a little bit more mindful of the amount of water I've been drinking, I feel like I wake up looking so refreshed. Like, you guys, even these past 2 weeks, because I've been drinking this consistently for a few weeks now, these past 2 weeks, like I'll wake up and even though I feel like I feel like I'm always tired, but I'll wake up and I'll just feel like I look nice and bright and hydrated. And of course I have a whole little regimen I do every night, but even just the difference of drinking this water. And again, it goes to this hydrating from within, keeping the skin cell nice and plump, because again, this area is so thin, right? So any little thing of darkness, sometimes we can see blood vessels and stuff. And that's part of the reason why this area can be very dark. It's very thin. So all of that stuff is kind of right there at the surface. But keeping ourselves hydrated, that allows these skin cells to be a little bit more plump and hydrated, and that's why I feel like it can just kind of improve how your under eyes might look as well. So I will put that out there too, because and I my dark circles, like they're fine. Sometimes they bother me, sometimes they don't, but just seeing the difference with that, because there's some days where I feel like I'm a raccoon, and so drinking a lot more water has been helpful because I've noticed the difference. Every morning I wake up, I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't look that bad. All right, so definitely try and set goals. If you're not a water drinker, start small, start with a couple days, of trying to drink a few cups of water or something like that. But this is it, you guys. This is the key to a lot of things, not just our beauty, but just our overall health. So take it up a notch and drink it. Now, I am completely done for the day and I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. But before I go, I really want to open the floor, open the chat. If you missed yesterday and had any questions, please type it if you were able to join but didn't have any questions yesterday and have some today. Please let me know. So I'm over here looking at the chat right now just to see if anybody had any questions about oil cleansing and all of that stuff, because we went through and talked about what exactly it is. I actually did the oil cleanse. If you guys followed that, I did it and showed you how I do it. I use my facial oil here. But just to touch on that, I know some people are like, why would I clean my face with oil if my skin's oily? Well, oil does attract oil. So it will help to kind of remove excess oil from your skin, but allow whatever is actually needed to stay there. So I totally recommend it for everyone. All skin types can oil cleanse. But if you ever feel like I don't necessarily want to have that oily feeling on my skin, which sometimes it doesn't necessarily leave your skin feeling oily, but if you're, a lot of people are particular about stuff. But if that's the case, you can always oil cleanse first, maybe to remove your makeup and things like that. But then you can go in with your cleanser after. That way, you have already gotten some hydration and moisturizing done, and the cleanser won't be as harsh because you will have some of that added there already. So all right, so Miss Mary, she said, I missed yesterday. How do I reduce the oil on my face? Miss Mary, you're oily. Yeah, you need to come in and see me because I can't remember you being oily. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the thing about it is, I would love for you to come in so I could see what's going on. But I spoke on that a little bit yesterday. So if you are experiencing oiliness, sometimes your skin isn't even really oily. It could be overcompensating for the lack of oil from it being stripped too much, if that makes any sense. So sometimes there's products we like to use like cleansers. Sometimes the cleansers can be a little bit too harsh for our skin. And of course, we don't realize these things, but it could be a little bit too harsh and too stripping to where it's taking away way too much moisture from our skin. So because of that, it's causing our skin to be dehydrated, and it's sending signals to the skin cells because they're sitting there like, hold up, what the heck did she just do? Where's all our hydration and stuff? All right, y'all, we got to get to work because they done took it away. We got to make more. And so what's happening is the skin is producing more oil to compensate what you've taken away because it was too much. It was too harsh. And the same thing can happen from over exfoliating. And that's the thing too. Now I want to put it out here, you guys. I'm not a fan of actual facial scrubs. However, do not use St. Ives, okay? And I'm hoping nobody uses St. Ives in here. If you do, you need a hand smack because St. Ives is horrible, okay? And St. Ives can be a means for somebody thinking they're oily and they're really not. It's just their skin is in overdrive because that scrub is really tearing your skin up more than you know, okay? So we don't want to use any St. Ives. I like to opt for a more, I guess, again, work smarter, not harder. Why buy another product just because it's a scrub when you can just use an exfoliating pad and your cleanser, and that's going to be your exfoliation. So just don't use St. Ives. But you know, Miss Mary, we just need to figure out what exactly is going on, and then we can kind of go from there. But in order to reduce it, you really have to have a good sound knowledge of, for one, your skin, two, the good products, and you need to maintain that good balance of water and oil on your skin. So that's like the biggest thing. It could be a thing of where maybe, Miss Mary, you feel like you're oily and you don't want to put no moisturizer on or something when you really need it, right? Because everybody needs moisturizer. I'm just going to put that out there. Everyone needs moisturizer, whether you're dry, oily, or whatever. We all need it. And so, you know, I think it's just a matter of figuring out what you're using, what you're doing, and all of that stuff. So Miss Mary, come see me, please. You know how to reach me. You come see me and we'll figure it out for you, okay? But yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I really enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a good day. Hope you have a good day of drinking water. And then tomorrow's going to be exciting because I think we will be going over exfoliation. And so that's the conversation I want to. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait for tomorrow because that is. Ah, that's the culprit for a lot of people thinking that they're oily and they're really not, okay? So I cannot wait to kind of just explain the science behind exfoliation and stuff tomorrow. I really can't wait to do that. Whew, y'all bringing the nerd out of me, okay? But I love it. But I really cannot wait to talk about exfoliation because it is so important, and there's a lot of people out there who don't exfoliate. So we're going to really dive deep into that and let you guys know the benefits and why it just allows for an overall good working system for your skin, okay? So everything that we're doing on this challenge literally serves a good purpose, and it's literally breaking down the way that our skin works and the things that we need to do so that it can work properly. I swear, you guys, you know, what good is nice, hydrated, moisturized skin that's full of dead skin, though? It's still not going to look as good. We got to get the dead skin off of there so that the nice fresh skin can shine through. Okay, so I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about you guys even wanting to do this. Thank you so much, because now I'm like, I want to do so much more for this because I know how it is. And I just want to give you guys some background. Like I've never really experienced a lot going on with my face, at least not until I got pregnant, okay? But, you know, growing up, I never really had acne on my face or anything like that. My problem was acne here on my chest and my freaking back, okay? And I had people, oh my God, I'll never forget it. I had one of my, I don't even want to call him a friend now, because like, what kind of friend was that making fun of me like that? But anyway, you know, they'd call me stuff like chocolate chip and stuff like that, and you know, just mean stuff. And I was very self-conscious about that. So that is a huge reason why I really wanted to get into skincare anyway, because oh my God, just how I felt about you know, the marks and things like that. And I still get some here and there. Most of it be hormonal though, but I feel like I know how to deal with things now and how to treat them and improve them if things do happen. But I know how it feels when you just want your skin to look a certain way or be a certain way and all of that. You know what I mean? And so that's why I really wanted to do this too, because it's our skin. Like I can't take this off. I can't borrow somebody else's or anything like that. So that's why I really wanted to do this too, because it makes a difference. And I want everybody to love the skin they're in, okay? And at least know how to deal with it when certain problems arise with it. And so I appreciate you guys so much because your support is, you have no idea. Let me just say that. So if you're here, thank you. And you have no idea how much it means to me for you being here. And I'm really hoping you can take something away from this. And I'm always here. So don't think that it's just a challenge and bye bye. Like, you guys know how to find me. You can always holler at me for whatever. Okay. So happy Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day. I think this went so well and I feel really good about it. But yeah, you guys, be sure to check your emails. Okay. I don't know if anyone's had issues or not with the emails, but I just know sometimes certain things can get lost in junk files or spam folders and things like that. So just always check your email. Make sure you got your bingo card and you're scratching your stuff off. Don't forget to do everything on the bingo card. Make sure you have your proof and all of that stuff. So we can see about these winners, and who knows, me being me, everybody might get a little something. I don't know yet. I'm gonna figure it out, but just know I got you guys and I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay. So you guys have a good day. I'll see y'all.